Welcome back, fellow viewers, to another riveting episode. Standoff civil rights advocate and law enforcement clash in a battle of rights and authority. Get ready to witness jaw-dropping encounters as civil rights attorneys and legal scholars go head-to-head with law enforcement, fearlessly challenging the boundaries of their rights. From unexpected traffic stops to heated confrontations on private property, these legal minds are here to educate, inform. Brace yourselves for an adrenaline-pumping ride as they embark on an epic showdown, navigating the thin line between authority and individual liberties. Civil rights attorney Emmanuel Olawale was disposing of trash in a dumpster outside his office when two police officers approached him. Despite not violating any laws, the officers appeared to racially profile him. They asked for his ID, expressing concern about potential illegal dumping.
Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID?
I have no reason to. I'm not violating any law. So
No one said that you're violating any law.
No, don't run my ID. I'm a lawyer. I know my rights.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID. I only identified myself so that this won't escalate.
Emmanuel complied by showing his business card, but objected to being recorded, asserting he was on his property. He clarified that the dumpster was shared among all the units in the property, nullifying their suspicion. The officers returned his ID, but Emmanuel firmly warned them against running his ID in the future, stating it would be illegal.
Paying for it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the units.
That's fine.
Just give me back my ID. Thank you. Yeah, I understand you came to check, but trying to run my ID to find anything, no, that's illegal.
Emmanuel, the only person of color in the area, confronted the officers' racially biased approach. He stood his ground, asserting his rights and knowledge as a lawyer. Despite initial concerns, the police allowed him to continue disposing of his trash, highlighting the importance of knowing and asserting one's rights when faced with potential racial profiling. The incident served as a reminder of the ongoing need for awareness and vigilance to combat discriminatory practices. In this fascinating encounter, community law professor Chao de Castro finds himself in a contentious exchange with two police officers who pulled him over while returning from his university. The officers claim he ran a red light and made an improper turn, but De Castro questions the validity of their allegations, expressing his disbelief over the traffic violations.
Okay.
Is there a reason why you pulled me over?
Yes, there is. You ran a red light when you were at university and Rule, and then you made an improper turn right here when you cut the car off. That was the lane.
Remaining calm and composed, De Castro seeks clarification on the reason for his detainment, highlighting that he teaches constitutional law and is well aware of his rights. He tries to understand the basis of the officer's accusations, emphasizing the importance of adhering to specific protocols in law enforcement. As the discussion evolves, tensions escalate when De Castro poses thoughtful questions to the officers, challenging their assumptions and maintaining his innocence regarding the alleged traffic violations.
Turn where the road was closed. I just want you to notice that.
All right. Could you give me your driver's license, please?
I can, but I got to reach in here, and I don't want you to be scared.
Just give me your driver's license.
This is the Mullen Commission. I teach constitutional law.
Okay. Please give me your driver's license and your insurance registration.
You don't have to be demanding. You can clearly see I'm pulling out my identification for you right here. There's no reason for you to be rude to me. Remember, 300,000 people follow me teaching constitutional law. So while you're armed and dangerous, I'm not.
In a bold assertion, De Castro suggests that the officers are hiding behind their badges and guns, implying that their authority influences their behavior.
I can't believe you even pulled me over, to be honest. You could clearly see that road was closed. You didn't see the road was closed?
I saw, but I also saw that you were stopped at a red light, and you turned left at a red light, and then I also saw right here, you turned left from lane number L1 and straight into lane number 2 and cut off the other vehicle that was.
I didn't cut off any vehicles, officer. Don't make things up. I got a camera in here. The registration, like you asked me to do.
Sir, I'm gonna have you wait in your car.
You're not giving me a lawful order. I teach constitutional law. Be very careful what you do.
Okay, this is.
Be very careful. I'm going. You're not
for
officer safety.
This is
under
for
Terry
my
versus
safety.
Ohio. I'm Pennsylvania versus Mims right now. I'm outside of my car. The 1978 holding. Are you sure?
At all, sir.
I have 300,000 followers, brother. They're gonna love this.
Car.
I'm trying to get my registration as he asked me to do. I'm not a danger to anybody. I've already showed him the inside of my car.
Nobody has asked you to exit the vehicle.
Okay, I'm getting the registration. Why are you in my face? I don't understand this. I'm gonna. You want to follow me? He wants the registration. I want to get it for him.
I want you to keep waiting right here in your drive.
That badge and gun, we both know what would happen. You're the beta male. I'm the alpha male. And you know that. And you're scared. And you know you are. That's why you have your hand on your gun, because you're scared. Look.
The incident showcases the delicate balance between law enforcement and individuals well versed in the legal system, as De Castro confidently defends his rights and knowledge throughout the encounter. An officer was approached unexpectedly by a bystander who took it upon himself to educate the officer on the law and public rights.
Hey sir, you can't be videoing here.
What's that?
You gotta have a permit to video here.
Permit? Is this open to the public? Right here?
On a government facility, you gotta have a permit to be filming out here.
What law is that? What law is it?
It's county law. You cannot film on government property. You gotta have a permit.
The bystander insisted that filming in the area required a permit, citing county law. However, the man disputed the officer's assertion.
I guess I'm going to challenge you on that because that may be your policy, it's not law. I have a legal right to film in public, and they want you to enforce the policy. And policy doesn't trump my right to film in public. I'm not going into the building. I'm out here in public. It's publicly accessible.
Explaining that while it was a policy, it was not a law. He firmly asserted his legal right to film in public places, emphasizing that filming on government property did not violate any laws.
It's a First Amendment protected activity, and that's why I'm out here. I'm out here to educate you and others that we have a right to film in public.
Despite the passerby's clear explanation, the officer hesitated to concede his position. The man continued to assert that his right to film in public spaces was protected, and he aimed to educate both the officer and others about this fundamental right. He firmly believed that policies should not override constitutionally protected activities. In this scenario, a woman is filming on public property and is summoned by law enforcement as a result of her actions.
Public use for public publishment.
What are you reporting specifically?
The FAA. May I ask you this? Are you aware of the 2010 or 2018 DHS memo that makes it perfectly legal for any photographer to video, record, or photograph a federal facility from a public spot? And initiate a consensual conversation.
Which I did.
And I can walk away at any point.
Well, no, now you're being detained because I need to dispel my concern about what you're doing here.
Why am I being detained, sir?
Suspicious activity.
Photography cannot be used.
You and I are going to go around in a circle.
No, sir. Please let me
Could
finish.
I have your ID?
I don't have an ID.
You don't have an ID?
No.
She requests that a higher-ranking officer be present to review Officer Weese's actions. Eventually, a sergeant appears and, following standard procedure, releases the woman after determining that there is no valid reason for her detention. In the situation, the sergeant emphasizes their commitment to enforcing federal regulations.